So today we are doing volumes of cones. Essentially the same formula as pyramids, only if you notice that for a cone, the area of the base is a circle. So we just throw in pi r squared every time for that. So what we do, how I write the formula is I write pi r squared, so that's the area of the base, times the height, and then all divided by 3. So that's how I type it in my calculator. So if you want to write that on your note sheet, that's what I would do. So there's some a little bit more amped up problems on the note sheet. They're not all this difficult, but since it's kind of the last day with cones, we can kind of see if you can do it. So for area of the base, it's always pi r squared. So we gotta find where's the radius. Okay, there's 21. So we type that in. We get 1,385.4 millimeters squared. So next, we're gonna have to find the height. So you're like, great. It's not there. This is the slant height, not the height. So when I don't know where something is, I need to find right triangles. Oh, look at there it is. So I'm going to write the 48 millimeters, and I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem to find the height. So 21 squared plus h squared equals 48 squared. And when I type all that in, I get 43.2. So an extra step on this one, I had to do the Pythagorean theorem. So next, to find the volume, I take the area of the base, and then I multiply it to the height, and then I never, ever, ever forget to divide by 3. So I get 19,949.8 millimeters cubed. Here's another little tricky one with the height. So base is first, so pi r squared, radius is 6, okay, looking good so far. Multiply that out, it's 113.1 meters squared. Next, I'm going to find the height, which I need to find right triangles for. So I have that 42 degrees. Notice this is an oblique cone. That's how I know this is your height. It's got the perpendicular distance from the vertex to the base. I don't want to draw a right triangle like that because then it cuts up my angle and then I don't know what that is anymore. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it as this right triangle. So I just need to redraw this here. So if I redraw this, here's h, here's your 42. This length down here is the diameter of the circle. So if the radius is 6, then this whole side would be 12. So in order to find height, I'm going to do SOHCAHTOA, and since I have an opposite and adjacent, I'm going to do the tangent of 42 equals 12 over h. Remember, with doing SOHCAHTOA, you're going to cross multiply and then divide. So I'm going to take 12 divided by the tangent of 42. Oh, oops. Alright, tangent of 42. So when I type that in, I get 13.3 meters. So then to figure out the volume, I'm going to take 113.1, oops, that's in red, 113.1 times 13.3, and then divide that by 2. 3. Divide by 3. 501.4 cubic inches. Oh, SOHCAHTOA action. Okay. Next one, find the missing measurement. So algebra, sweet. Find the height of the right cone if the volume is 600 pi cubic centimeters and the radius is 15. Okay, so I'm given a volume. So volume formula is pi r squared times height all over 3. So if the volume is 600 pi, then I have, what do I have? The radius. So I do pi radius squared, and then height is what I don't have. So I'm going to write h all over 3. So I'm going to simplify this here. So I get 600 pi equals 15 squared is 225. So I like to write that up front. All over 3. So I like to work with getting rid of that fraction here. So this whole thing's being divided by 3. So in order to undo the division, I'm going to multiply. So I multiply both sides by 3. So I'm left with 1800 pi equals, and the whole point of doing that is this would divide out into 1, so it's like giant 1. So I'm left with 225 pi times h. Next, I'm going to get h alone, so I don't want the pi's there, so I'm going to divide both sides by pi, so those both divide out into 1. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 225. So then my h, once I divide that, is 8. So then in my blank, it's 8 centimeters. Okay. Find the diameter of a cone below, given its height and volume. So this is kind of the same one, only they give you the height instead of the radius. So if I need to write, here's the formula, pi r squared times height all divided by 3. So in place of v, I'm going to write 300 pi, and then pi, then radius is, like I said, they didn't have, but they gave me the height. The height is 10. 10 there, and then divide by 3. And like I said, I like to write it so the coefficient on the variables first. So I like to write 10 pi r squared all over 3. Just because this looks more familiar to me now. And then I'm going to, I don't want this division, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 to undo that division. So then I'm left with 900 pi equals, and the whole point of doing that is so those divide out into 1. So I'm just left with the numerator, which is what I want. And then to get r squared alone, I need to divide both sides by pi, so those cancel out on both sides, so that works out, and by 10. So I get 90 equals r squared. And then square root both sides, so I get, what is that, about 9.5 equals r, and it's only the positive 9.5 because I'm talking about a length. So that's r, this is 9.5. What would that be, feet? So then for the diameter, I have to double that, so that would be 19 feet. My answer. All right, here's a composite figure. So we need to find the volume. So the top figure is a cone, so that's what we've been doing for all these other ones. So the formula for that, I'm just going to write this here, just because there's more room. So I'm going to write pi r squared times height all divided by 3. So I have to figure out what all these numbers are. So pi radius, what? Not here. Oh my gosh. So, hey, Pythagorean theorem, right? Where do I write this? It's right over here. Okay, so if I take that out, okay, the 4, they pointed this is 4. This is slant height's 5. Oh, who knows it? Who knows it? It's a triple. it's 3. Do r squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. You get 3. Does anyone see it? I bet you did. Okay. Now we do the height of the cone, which is 4, and then we can't forget to divide that all by 3. So for the cone, I get 37.7 cubic meters. Okay, so then I need to find the volume of the bottom. What is that? Cylinder? That's like the same formula except it's no divide by 3. So it's just pi r squared times height. So pi radius, well that would be the same as the cone. So what did we get for that? 3. And then the height of the cylinder, that one's different, that's 7. So if I type all that in, I don't need to divide by 3 on that one. I get 197.9 cubic meters. So then to find the volume of the whole thing, it's like 2 on top of each other, so I have to add them. So I'm going to take 37.7 plus 197.9 to get 235.6 meters cubed volume. Last one. So what this picture is trying to demonstrate is that it's like a solid cylinder with like holes on the ends. So like these two are like space, like that's air space. So try to picture that 3-dimensional. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the volume of this whole thing as if the cones weren't in there. And then I'm going to find the volume of the 2 cones and subtract them. So just because this was more room over here, we have cylinder is pi r squared times height. So I have pi, and then where's my radius? Well, they give me this whole way across, so the radius is half of 18, so that's going to be 9. And the height, this whole thing. So they say from here, like here to here is 12. So then all the way across, that would be 24. So if I type that in, it's a pretty big number, 6,107.3 cubic inches. Okay, then we have cones. All right, so for a cone, that's pi r squared times height, all divided by 3. But I need 2 of them. So I need to make sure I multiply this by 2 because there's 2 cones. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to do 2, that's 2 times, and then I'm going to do pi radius, where is it? That'd be the same as cylinder. So that was 9. And the height of 1 cone. So don't do 24 again, it's height of 1. So that's going to be 12. And then I divide that by 3. So essentially what I do is I figure out, okay, what is this all equal? And then I multiply it by 2. So then when I do that, I get 2,035.8 cubic inches. So then to find the volume of the whole solid, I take the 6,107.3 and subtract the 2,035.8 to get the final answer of 4,071.5 cubic inches. So that is it.